Okay, we are live. Sorry, I didn't know you were just about to ask me a question. Do you need me to answer something? Okay, just getting my computer in place here. Oops. There we go. Okay. Woo, there we are. Well, almost there we are. There we go. Okay. All right. So I know you guys, it's kind of an odd time, because I actually have some new stuff to show you today, but I was really excited. I got a surprise visit today from, I'm going to show you guys this because they left me with some goodies. So, I'm just going to do a quick show. We'll go into more detail once I look through this a little bit more. But I got a surprise visit from Paul, one of the owners of Pretty Pink Posh. And so he brought me in some samples of, thank you. I need the folio one too. He brought me in some samples of their most recent release, and there's some pretty cool stuff in here. So I'm just going to show you guys really quick, and then we'll get out more information to you. But I was kind of happy to see some of this. It is a beach themed release, and so it's kind of a bit of a pile here. Okay, so they do some nice colorable stamp and die sets here. So that one is Beach Fun. Then we have Seashells, I think is the name of this one. Stands to reason. And then we have this one called Seashell Wreath. So this is apparently these wreaths that they do. Well, hi, Diane. Are so popular. This is the 12th one because people are crazy about these. So I'm just giving you guys a quick peek into what Pretty Pink Posh, they're actually local. They're down in Bonnie Lake, I believe is that what he said? Yeah, it's not anywhere on here. But anyways, so this is kind of a cool one because you got both the positive and the negative for different waves. This stencil here, gorgeous. And I love these words. Okay, so then the other one that I want to show you guys these are only 2 parts, and they're 2-part layering background stamps. So that's a seashell one, and then we have like, I don't know, coral and underwater stuff. So, okay, so those are the stencils. There is like a cute little quick set of summer sentiments kind of a thing. And then this one, which I think is actually really interesting. This is teeny little icons. And so they have these for all kinds of different topics. This was, and so you can make little tags with these. You can make little circle embellishments for your cards. If you do planners and junk journals and bullet journals and things like that, these could be really fun because they're small. We have a Good Vibes word die set and summer. And then we have a bunch of other kind of sea type stuff. Okay. So we've got a really cool border. And what I liked about these, it kind of drew me in, was the was the stitching. And you get the border, but you also got those different dies so you could create some dimension. You've got a number of different edge borders. This one, okay, so one of the things that they're really known for, this is me just learning about it too from our talk, is they're really known for shaker dies. So, like this guy here is it's a sandcastle, and you can just use it as a sandcastle, but it's also designed so that you can use it, like, let me see, it'll be easier on, I think this guy. Okay, so you can use this as a pail or a flower pot. Either way works. But if you put this inside die right here in, then you just get the outline of it, and then you can use that as the decoration on your shaker and just use the whole die to cut the hole. So it's kind of a cool, I'm really looking forward to playing with these because they can be used as regular dies or as shakers, however you want. And then this one is a shaker as well. So you guys, that one is a pretty cool one. You can't, it's like kind of hard to tell what it'll look like, but I think you'll be really impressed. And then we have a new chevroned pierced plate, and then we have two big dies of elements, and these are kind of bigger than some of the others. So for those of you guys that are doing scrapbooking or mini albums, these very well could be really great. So it was really fun. I didn't know he was coming, to sit down and get to chit chat with him, because they have gobs and gobs of stuff, but it's hard to kind of, get a grasp on this or that. So it was really nice to see it in person, and he left me some stuff to play with. So, and then I will send out an email to you guys so we can kind of gauge what you guys might be interested in. But I do love the idea that they are another local company that that we can feature. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys, we have a class this Friday with Colleen coming up. This one is called Poppy Palooza. So it uses the gorgeous Poppy, what's it called? Poppy Garden collection from Paper Rose. So it's this coming Friday, the 20th at 11:30, and it's $28. And in this class, she's going to actually take one main sheet of paper and turn it into 5 cards. So she's going to walk you through getting some of these really cool images out of this stunning piece of paper. And so I think this is going to be a really, really fantastic class. There'll be a lot of stuff that you get to learn in here. So we've got this happy birthday one with some collaging and backgrounds. And then we have enjoy, hugs for you, and happy birthday to you. So in class, she's going to walk you through cutting the paper so that you can get all of the card images out of it that you need for the class. And then you'll get to do a whole bunch of different techniques to kind of, put them all together and stuff. So that's this Friday, June 20th at 11:30, and it is $28. Okay. So there's that. And then I also wanted to show you guys, I have 2 things. Could you maybe just in the future not stick these to the front of the stuff? Okay. So I wanted to show you guys this, but also, are you guys ready? Okay, so did you tune into my Saturday morning craft thing? Coffee and craft? Are you checking stuff in, honey? So we can be, okay. So if you tuned in this past Saturday to the Coffee and Craft at 9 a.m., where I decided that I was going to make something, and I didn't have much of an idea what I was going to do. Well, I was going to make a folio, and then I got off track and I made a gate card. And then somebody came over and told me that it looked horrendous and, and I needed to just stop. So then I went back to the folio. So, oh, thanks, Diane. Fun. It was fun on one side of the video, right? But I have to tell you guys, I want to show you this because the folio turned out so good. And so we're going to do a class on this one because there was a number of different fun techniques that I used to put this together. And you guys on the video saw me put the folio together, and we did the brads and the cover. And then there's a bunch more in here that I'll show you. But I do want to show you that the gatefold this is exactly the same gatefold that I was working on in the video, but this is how it turned out. Okay. So much, much, much better. I think we can all agree, much better. So I actually just pulled off that wood panel that was over here, and I was able to, this came from the 6x6, but this one came, I think, from one of the 12x12s. But I was able to find a pattern that kind of matched enough that when I glued the duck piece on here, that it was, you know, consistent enough to go together. And then it opened. And I have to tell you guys, I actually really, really like how this turned out. So this does use one or two of the 12x12s. I'm not entirely sure because I did this one after I did the folio and there were scraps everywhere. But it used the 6x6 and just one of those little embossed die cuts. Okay, so that was how that one turned out. But this is going to be the Lakeside Folio class. This one is going to be July 12th at 4:30 because, hi, Christine. Because I need to order more of the product in, and it comes from Australia. So I wanted to make sure that I gave myself, you know, enough time to get stuff here and get people registered, okay? So this one is going to be, it's just going to be like a 4-part thing here, and we have some different tuck-ins. We've got some different flaps and folds, and some different images over here, and then some tucks over here. So in this class, this one, oops. Okay. So what's cool about this class is we're going to be playing with this film strip. That's that film strip tape that I was oohing and awing about the other day. We're going to be playing with that. We're going to be playing with the embossed die cuts. We're going to be doing some collage with some vintage papers. And so there's just a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing in this class. And I think that if you can join me, it is going to be really quite fun. And then you'll have this gorgeous little folio when you're done. Okay. So July 12th at 4:30. And I think it's about a third full at the moment because Sunday we did bonus hours and Sunday was the first day you could register. So, okay, let's do that and I will stick that right there. All right. Well, hi, Fonda. Okay, so now you guys, I want to show you guys, we got in some new goodies from Pink and Main. And actually, let me show you a couple things to do. All right. So Pink and Main does, they do 2-dimensional embossing folders, which oddly enough are a little bit harder to find than 3-dimensional embossing folders these days. But I actually really, really like the folders that they do because this detail is, it's so detailed. Is that a thing? I don't know. It's just they're thin lines. They're nice. You know, it's a nice effect. right? So we have the beach waves. That one is $8.50. And I think when you see this one in person, it really does make a big difference, right? And then I loved this one because we are putting together, I'm putting together a little bit more of a cohesive birthday section. So we'll have somewhere that you can just come for birthday as the stuff arrives, right? So, this one here to me, it just feels like it can go with pretty much any birthday, and it's kind of fun to have those words. So birthday wishes, $8.50. So that's it just on cardstock. And then here I did a light color emboss, or a light color inking, then I embossed it, then I went back over with the same colors, and that's how we get that really cool like tone on tone kind of look for this. Okay. Beach wave, do you mean embossing folder, Diane? Because I haven't gotten to any stamps yet. I'm guessing you mean embossing folder. Okay. Now, I want to show you even more stuff. Where to start? Okay. So, this stencil from these guys is called the Ocean Floor Stencil. And, this one is a scene building stencil. So what that means is down here, you've got like some rocks and various things you can do. These are your bubbles. These are your school of fish swimming by, but you have other fish, and then you have some seashells, and down here you have grass. So there is there's a video that I will try to relocate on just how quick and easy it is to use this stencil to create with a couple different colors of inks, and all of a sudden you have this like really cool, easy peasy dimensional looking without being dimensional background. Okay, so and it's only $7.99 for the stencil. So it does a lot because you can just use those parts individually, or you know, you can use them separately. Okay, or together, I mean. Okay. This is one that I am kind of excited to take a look at how it turns out, but I've not seen any dies like this in quite some time. Okay, trying to think if ever. So this one is called Loopy Frames die, and you guys I mean, seriously, look at how fun that is, right? So if you had a birthday party, or, you know, you had some kind of whimsical sort of, you know, celebration kind of stuff, this just looks to me like swirls on a cupcake, right? Like when you do the icing on, you know, the Hostess cupcakes, it looks just like that. So I thought this one was pretty cool, and it's $25.99. You get a small one and you get a large one, and you actually get the words that say for you, this little chunky thing here. But both of the loopy frames, they can be used totally by themselves. You also could just cut that, right? You don't have to have it be a frame, but you can use it as just a little bit of a border if you wanted to. So you've got that, and then you've got the shadow that perfectly goes behind it. And now the shadow does not cut out this middle part, so it's going to be a solid one. So it just becomes like a frame for, well, hi, Kelly, for your pictures. Okay, so I thought this one was pretty cool at $25.99. And then, are you guys ready for something really quite unique? So I saw this. This is a stamp set from their new release called Oceans of Love. And this was the one, obviously, that caught my attention. But I think these are so pretty, and they are so unique, okay? I don't think, yeah, we don't have, because you have, it's not quite like native art, but a little bit like native art. So there just isn't that much out there for this style. So we've got the turtle, the frog, the koi fish, the shark, the swan, the flamingo, and the whale. And then you've got a couple little sentiments that you can use with them. But you guys, stamping these, embossing these, I think they're going to turn out phenomenal. And there is coordinating dies to go with them, so you can create your own little embellishments or whatever. So the stamp set is $19.99 and the die set is $20.99. So it's a pretty reasonable set for being as cute as it is. Let me get this one off. And then let's talk, because we are talking about this design. This is the Oceans of Love foilable sheets, okay? So let's talk about this. The foilable sheets, there's a couple different types of foiling. So there is the hot foiling, which is often referred to as glimmer because that's what Spellbinders named their machine. That's the one where you need either your better press plates or your hot foil plates, and you need this machine that basically it goes through your die cut machine, but it heats up and it does all this kind of stuff. Fabulous. We can do so many cool things with that. But this one is different. This one uses a different foil. This uses transfer foil, and it uses a kind of foil that if you put score tape down, you can put the foil on the score tape, pull it up, and you'll have like a line. So what this one is this is used with the Mink machine, like a heat laminator or some other kind of a laminating hot machine where it passes through, because all of these are printed. So they're printed with this really high quality toner that when it goes through that machine, they melt and they adhere to the foil and they pull them off. Okay. So let me just pop these out. So what we get in here is we have 8 pre-printed toner sheets. Okay. And my guess, you guys, so they did send us a sample of that. I mean, could that be more stunning? That is just amazing, isn't it? I love that. Okay. And then I think they are all the same, but my guess, hold on one second, is that if you wanted to cut them out, my guess is the dies will also work to cut them out. Yeah, because they're the exact same size as the stamps. So pretty brilliant. Okay. Yeah, the Fuse, that's the name of the other one. Thank you, Christine. So these are this is their new designs from this newest release from Pink and Main. Okay. So that's that one. And that one's the Oceans of Love fusible. And then we have a couple others that I'll show you. There might be some more in here. I don't know. Okay. I think there's a few more, but these are the ones that I grabbed. So this one is Bubbles. And oh my gosh, you guys. So they sent me a sample of what that one looks like done. So it's called Bubbly Waves. And this is what it looks like when it's foiled. But you can use any of the foils that you want. So you can get all kinds of different effects. And with this one, what's really cool is you get this particular design, which has the black part here. That's the bubbles. And then the white is the background. And then on this one, it'll foil everything except the bubbles. Okay. So you can get a really cool, but totally different background for these guys. And these are an A2 panel. There's no price on these. How much are these? No, can you look for me? The big one is $8.50.
What's the code?
PMF 336. 336.
Bubbly Waves?
Uh-huh. Okay. So this one, oh wait, that's not the one. This one is $8.50. It's got bigger sheets in here and you get 8 sheets. That one's $8.50. This one is $5.50. These are all A2 card front sizes, okay? So when we were looking at this earlier, it was like, wait a minute, are those the same size? But it turns out, yes, they are. So this will be the perfect size for a card front. And you get 8 in here for $5.50, and you get the 2 different patterns. And then we have this one. There's like 3 or 4 different foilable patterns in here, so I'm not sure. Oh, here, that's what the other one looks like in the black. We also got this pattern in, and it has the reverse. I've got cards for that, but I'm not sure exactly where they are. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So with this one, I can't even remember what it was called, and I didn't grab the thing, but it comes in a package that's A2 card fronts. You get, same thing. You get 8 of them, 4 positive, 4 negatives, and they are A2 sized. But look at how cool that is. So you just get a little bit of foil on this particular one. And then the opposite one, which is the negative, it'll be all foil except for those little white lines. So really, really cool, cool stuff. And then this last one here, this is the nautical sheets. This one I almost didn't get because I couldn't see what the picture looked like. Because it was so small. But then when I zoomed in, you guys, this is phenomenal, right? So we've got lobsters, we have seashells, we have waves, and we have this lighthouse one. So I think you've got a ton of variety in this pack, as all 8 sheets are different. Okay, so that one is the nautical one. And this is kind of a new product line for us, but I have been getting some requests for these foiling sheets. And so I wanted to bring some in and see what you guys thought. Now, I got stuff everywhere. Sorry, guys. Okay, so from Pink and Maine, one of the things that we carried a long time ago, and then we weren't able to get in, but we have it back in now, is their anti-static brush. And you guys have seen me use this on a number of different projects, but I didn't really feature it too much because we didn't have it in stock, but it is back in stock now. So if you do a lot of like powder embossing, this right here, if you don't have this already, it is one of the best things. Okay, so it's $9.99, and it comes with powder to put in this little canister. So you'll put that in, but you'll have powder left over. You can get more powder also, but honestly, this is going to last you a long time. The reason they send it like this is because when they sent it assembled, it tended to get powder everywhere. And so this way you get extra powder actually, and it's a kind of a cleaner in-package experience. So it has a few little directions in here, but basically all you do is put some of that powder in here. You'll screw this together, okay? And then this awesome brush, it has a slide part on it here. So you just you slide that back, and then you're basically just gonna take the brush and dust all over whatever paper before you stamp with your embossing ink. Hey, Trey, no problem. And then when you're done, and it has like a release mechanism kind of a thing that's just, you know, somewhere in there, depending on how this thing works. And then this just slides back up, keeps your brush even, and actually the bottom would stay on because you'd have so much powder in it. But so, and then it goes back like that. So we got these back in stock. I'm really, really excited because this is, as far as, you know, embossing powder, anti-static things, this one is really one of my favorites versus, you know, the little pouches and things like that, which have been around a long time, and they work perfectly good. They're a little bit messier. So we have that one. And then you guys, I was able to get a pretty good price on these. So we've got these on our $5 kiosk. And I wanted to show you. One, you'll never, ever lose this sucker in your craft room. But this is a silicone brush scrubber. It's got all these different kind of little nobules in here for washing your brushes. So when you have like your blender brushes and things like that, I don't have one handy, but I do have this guy, okay? So what I do when I wash my brushes is I would take something like this, and then I would put a little bit of like, you know, everything gets wet in the sink. Dish soap, you could put it right into here. And then you just kind of scrub this gently. And having these kind of things helps. It's not hard on the bristles, but it helps get those bristles separated with the soap to get your bristles cleaner. And then, you know, you have to rinse out all the soap and let it dry. But having this is really nice because it fits in the palm of your hand, and even your bigger brushes, you can have room to get them clean. And you guys, $5, really, really great price on these, okay? So these are on the $5 kiosk if you need one. I'm excited to have one too. All right. Next from these guys. Oh, you know what? I want to show you this too because so this comes in multiple packages. I have no idea why. Okay. This is the foil dusting brush. And I thought, oh, well, you know, what do you need that for? So if you're going to be doing, let's say you're going to be doing and foiling this piece, right? You heat up your laminator, you get your foil on here, you get stuff ready to put through. So what this brush is designed to do, I don't even know if I can get into this brush. Hold on. Oh, not even got okay. It's a really soft, fluffy brush. It's absolutely freaking adorable with all those little, I don't know, gemstones packed in there, right? But it's nice and soft. But what it's meant to do is just dust off your foil, because if there's any dirt or anything on here, you may not get a perfectly, you know, clean application as it goes through the foiler. So if there's little things on here, like there was just that on my thing, that would prevent the foil from transferring. Okay, so that's what this brush is designed for. If you have other fluffy brushes, yes, of course they will work. But with this one, you would know it's your foil dusting brush because it's pretty dang unique. Or you could use it for other things, right? But the other thing is, you guys, it's like $5.50. So it is a great price for an adorable little dusting brush. Which, you know, you might end up needing. All right. Next up is, this one is also from their new release. This is called Time to Celebrate. It's $15.99, and it is, maybe it isn't from their brand new release. It might not. It might have been something I pulled for the birthday section, but at any rate, we haven't had it before. But it's a gob of little tiny birthday sentiments. So, you're how old? I think is a great one. But you've got belated birthday wishes. Sorry I missed your birthday. Wait, did I pick two? That would make it seem like I am never on time for somebody's birthday. But for the birthday girl, birthday boy, hope your birthday is awesome. So gobs of different birthday sentiments on here. Really easy to work into whatever design because they aren't big, but lots of choices. So that one is $15.99. And then, you guys, I got in some of their papers, okay? Because I get asked from time to time for this or that or this or that. So I try every once in a while to kind of scrounge out, not scrounge, but like look for some different types of papers than are the standard ones. And sometimes some of these kind of smaller companies put out things that are really interesting. So first off, we have this 6x6 paper pad. You get 24 sheets in here for $8.50. And let me see if I can get this open. Okay. And it is called Gradient and Dots. Okay. So what I loved about this is it's, okay, that's one of the things I wanted to see. It does not have a shine to it, but it's a 6x6, okay? So this gradient is going to be the whole size of your card. It's not like, you know, where we have to kind of pick the colors of the gradient or something. And then on the back side, you have the dots. But you guys, those are small dots. So if you have been looking for that kind of a pattern, we have, I mean, look at how many you get. And then it starts over, okay? So probably get 12 different colors in gradient and 12 different colors in dots times 2. Okay, and then we have 3 different 6x8s. So I'm so excited to see these. Oh. All right, the first one I can't wait to look at. This is the one that just really caught my attention. So this one is called Mermaid Seas. And, oh my gosh, it's just really unique, you guys. So what do we have in here? We have 30 sheets. Oh my gosh. And it's not an 8x6. It's an 8.5 by 5. Probably that's supposed to be 5.5. Yeah. Okay, so they just have a little typo. Anyways, 8.5 by 5.5, which is half of an, which is half of one of our standard letter size. And basically you fold that in half and you've got A2. So you cut these in half and you'll have an A2 card panel. So let's take a look at, wow, look at that. So these are one-sided, which means if you did want to use this as a card base, you have a white inside, okay? So, I mean, these are really pretty, and they're very, very dramatic, but not like really over the top color-wise. So, okay, and then, wait, are these? Nope, that's still different. We're still going. Look how beautiful those are. Oh my gosh, I love this one. Yeah. And then we're back to the beginning. Okay, so my guess is 10 different designs, 3 of each pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so you get 10 different patterns, 3 of each, okay? 8.5 by 5.5, and they are $12.50. And they did send me this sample. This is one of their little coloring sets from the release, but it shows this paper like as your background. But also what I loved about it is this is that embossing folder in the background. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so that's the Mermaid Seas. And then, and let's see, it doesn't say what weight they are, but my guess is probably about an 80 pound. And then I also got 2 patterned sets because I know that, well, both our card makers and our scrapbookers tell me a lot of times that they are looking for papers that have smaller prints, okay? So I haven't seen these yet, fingers crossed. So again, so this one says, it says 30 sheets, 2 of each pattern. And yeah, see, it does have more than over here. So I guess it's probably 15 patterns. So let's take a look. So you've got confetti, and then you have like birthday cones and birthday hats, but definitely see, you can see it's like a smaller pattern. You have a rainbow scallop. You've got polka dots. You've got plaid, and then this is a multicolor polka dots. Oh, this one is fun. Look at that. Oh, I love that. Okay, and then you have the candles, and you have a pink. You have a pink, what is that? Sprinkles. Duh. And then we have the stars. And I think, wait, Okay, well, these two of each patterns kind of got mixed in. So then we have this big dot here. We have the presents. We have the stripes, the yellow dot, balloons, and I think maybe that is now all of the patterns. Okay, I think so. All right, so that's all of the patterns, and you get 30. Again, you get 30 for $12.50, which is pretty well priced for paper of that size too. Okay. All right. Next, we have this one, this one, we have a lot of people that do like summer themes and bee themes and things like that. So this one is called Bugs and Berries. And it says 30 sheets, 3 of each on this one. So we have a stripe, we have a little strawberry, we have daisies and ladybugs. Just a nice, easy to use little hexagon pattern. This looks like picnic plaid. Is that what we call it? And then you've got some little bees here, some little colored ladybugs, and some foliage, some little circle dots, and I think we did that one already. But I don't, is that everything? I think so. Oh yeah, because there's 3s of everything. Okay. So I think that's all of the ones for Bugs and Berries. Okay. So those are the 4 paper pads that we got in from Pink and Maine, because these guys all have slightly smaller patterns on them. And then they put out these card kits. So this is the first one that I've gotten in, and I just kind of wanted to show you. They sent me a sample of what one of the finished cards is, okay? But I haven't opened this yet. I wanted to look through it with you guys. So this kit, it makes 8 ladybug cards. Comes in a storage pouch, which is fantastic, and it's $20.99. So when we go to look through this, and from what I can tell, everything in this kit is specific to the kit, okay? I think, but we're gonna take a look. So you get these gorgeous little enamel dots. You get this fabulous pack of die cuts, and it has like paper, you can kind of see, these are your background papers, okay? They would just put on your card base. It comes with envelopes and card bases. And it comes with, oh, this is fabulous. Really, it's going to be really easy, and this is going to be great for crafters, like of all levels, or if you have friends that want to come over and you guys just want to put some cards together. Okay, Christine, I'll set one aside for you. So I mean, there's so much stuff in here, and then you can add more stuff from your stash. So if you have a ribbon, if you have gems, if you want to add glitter, you know, you could even add some of your die cuts if you had stuff to give it more, you know, this and that. But the way that these kits work is that it shows you pictures of what the 8 different cards look like. And when you go to make this one, you just find the parts that match the picture and you assemble it. You could use foam if you want to, or you can keep it all flat. You can do it basically however you want. And so you can kind of see how that goes. Okay. So really, really going to be fun, I think. I wasn't sure what we would be getting, so I'm happy to see that because, you know, you never know what comes in these. All right. So now I am going to show you guys something that I have been searching for, high and low. For years and years, I've been talking to manufacturers, years and 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 years. Okay? So let me show you this. This is the first one we've found at all, ever. Okay, so we have storage pouches that fit the Tim Holtz stamps. Right? There have been storage pouches out in all sizes for all years, right? But they've always been just a smidge, either too small or too short. But you guys, look at this, okay? Just like butter. Like it was designed for this. It wasn't, but it's just like it is. I am so over the moon excited to have this as an option because there are a number of these stamp sets that when you've used them for a good long time, the stamps kind of stay on, kind of don't, and this becomes the perfect way to store them, and you can still have them on the sheet, okay? So, here's the thing. Now, they come in a package of 15, okay? So, the 15 of them is $24.99, but for those of you guys that don't want 15, 15's a lot of a stamp envelope. So we're going to break up like one or two of the packs that we got in, and they'll be $2 a piece. So if you only need 3, you can just get 3 to store those little stamp sets where the stamps are falling off, okay? So we have the bundle, which is the best price. So you get 15 for $24.99, or singly, you can just get what you need at $2 a piece. Here's the thing. If you get this set, these are the same envelopes. This is what they were designed for, is this card kit, and they're various, I don't know if just the card kit or what, but their card kits are packed in these, and it's the same envelope. And so it just kind of happened that they fit the Tim Holtz stamps. It wasn't by design, but we are very excited that that is a side effect of the size, okay? So that is really fantastic news because we have just not had something good in the past. Okay. All right. So that is Pink and Main. And then I wanted to show you guys, we got in some dies from Pink Fresh, and I don't know that I've showed you all of the dies that we got in yet, but I did grab this one off the table. So some of you guys may look at this and go, oh, I kind of recognize that. And that's because I had this one in one of my virtual retailer kits where, you know, I was using it as a sample and stuff like that. So I did want to let you guys know that this die set is here now. And I wanted to show you this beautiful little sample that I made using one of the layering washies that they have. I never put the sentiment on it, but I think you get the idea. And then we layered, I think, 3 of that die to get that kind of cool dimension. But it really gives a cool landing spot, and it's only $14.99. So it's a good price on kind of a unique little stamp set. Okay. Then what I want to show you guys is we got hey, can you look up top there on right above the VersaFine Claire and grab the octagon card that's up there for me, please? Okay. So we got in some new stuff from Sizzix. Thank you. And 2 of the things that we got in, these are the Sizzix Studio sets. And you guys, this is kind of our first time bringing these in, but they are a phenomenal value. Okay, so first I want to talk about this one because I think this one is fantastic. And so the Penny Black came out with this rounded octagon die set, which should hopefully be back in stock in a couple days. Because I did get a ship notice on that, the order I was talking about on Saturday, or on Friday. But so this rounded octagon die set should be here in a couple days. But this card was made with this set. So I was just, this is not my sample one. I grabbed a sample one that was already open. Okay, so I can show you what this looks like. So in each one of these sets, the price is relatively similar. This one is $26.99. You get 3 stencils, okay, and you get this whole set of clear stamps. So it is a phenomenal value. And then for those of you guys that have the Sizzix Stamp and Stencil tool, these stencils are going to be great because these are like a mixed media stencil, but they are designed so that you have your holes for your stencil holder at the top and at the bottom, but also at the sides. So you really have a ton of options as far as how you want to lay these stencils out that are coming from the Sizzix Studios, because you can do really any of the sizes, okay? And this is going to be important for something that I show you here in just a minute. So you've got the trees, you've got this really cool like fence background, and then you have the brick, which I'm super in love with. And then you have this great stamp set. So what I did with this one is I just did a little bit of ink in the background to create that brick. And then I used the stamps and VersaFine Clair to just stamp some of those little buildings side by side and then finish it off with a sentiment. So, but look at all this. You can build, like if you're a scrapbooker, right? And you want to build a whole border town at the bottom of your page, you can make that as long as you want to, because you just keep sticking these little brownstones next to each other. They are so stinking cute, okay? And so 3 stencils and that stamp set. This one is called City Life, I believe, and it is $26.99. Plus it has the cutest little pigeon and a taxi cab for, you know, also a fire hydrant for, you know, if you need that. Okay, so let me make sure that one goes in there and this one is mine. All right. And then this one here, this is one of the newest released ones. This is called Artist Tools. Wait, did I grab this one? Do I have this one? No, I don't have this one open yet. Okay. So this one is called Artist Tools. Let me see if I can. Do I have a box cutter in my pocket? How is it I always have a box cutter with me except for, oh, when I need it. Just kidding. I've got one. Okay. So this set is going to be for making the rounded Christine, that's a good question. I will, can you look up how much is the rounded octagon set from Penny Black? See, the problem we run into sometimes with them is that she probably named it something like Radiance or, you know, so it doesn't have any name that that goes with what it is. So I don't know if we'll be able to find it without looking at like what we ordered, but I will definitely show you when it gets here, because I think we have a number of them coming. So what's nice about this box is it shows you all of the different stencils, okay? So these stencils, while yes, they could be layered if you wanted to, right? It's not designed specifically to be layered, these ones, okay? You could, but they're designed so that this one makes a, like, color swatch pie shaped with 6 pieces. And then you've got 6 pieces down here. And then you have this one, which has 12. Is that right? Yeah, 12. Okay. But you have the big pieces of the pie on this one. And then you have this stencil. So this one is also going to be 12, but this one is designed so that you have gradients in each of these so that you can go from like dark to light or light to dark, however you want to, but you still have the swatches down here. So basically, it gives you a ton of options in the stencil realm, which is really cool. And then you guys, we have the stamps. So these stamps are going to be, these are great for making swatches, okay? Because you stamp this whole thing. You can put the swatch colors in there. You could even label them right down here if you wanted to. You can create this and you can stamp them around to create kind of like a new little circle. You've got a nice bold circle if you want to paint things in there. Now, these are designed to be almost like paint chip swatch cards, okay? So they give you like some ideas of what you may want to do with your swatches on this little pop out here. So see how they did kind of like a little bit of a color and then they wrote some stuff in here and they did it for that one. But you guys, I also think that this could be really cool as like a little base for a ticket or, you know, things like that. So there's, with having just such a simple but bold stamp set, there's so much that you can do. And if you are trying to get some of your color swatching stuff together, or if you like making swatches, or maybe you are wanting to try out some new color combos, or, you know, any number of different things, then this could be a really, really fun set. And this one is a little bit less expensive. It's $22.99. So it's a little bit less expensive than the other one, okay? So it's called Artist Tools. All right, and then we have a very cool release from Eileen Hull. I don't know where my die went. That was just open. Okay. So Eileen Hull has a release. It's got two big dies, which I don't have in front of me at the moment. And then it's got three other pieces to the release. It's not a big release, okay? So we have this one here. This is called Rainbow Wheels. And it's a set of dies, and you can create your own color wheels with this. Really some interesting possibilities. I will, I'll go grab mine and open that up in a second. And then this one here, let's do a compare because we were just looking at the other one that had a number of different stencils. So is this mine? Nope, this one is mine to open. Okay. Okay. I just have to figure out which ones are which. All right. So with this stencil set here, this one is $24.99. And it doesn't include the stamps. However, let me show you. It does come in this big storage thing here, okay? So what you have is you have the, basically the one that has all the grids that we were just looking at, okay? So that one is going to give you kind of, come on now, that different sort of coloration. And then you have the two different pie wheels that will give you they'll give you all of the colors as you stencil them. But here's the other thing that's very interesting about this set, okay? So if I take this and I layer these two, oops, they probably need to go together. Okay, oh, are they going to? Yes, there we go, okay. So what I would do is I need to figure out how this is. Oh, there we go. It is perfect. So this is one of the things that's fabulous about using the Stamp and Stencil tool is if I put these on the pegs, they will hold them in perfect spot. So this one with the pie wheels is just a little bit bigger than the stencil underneath. And that's probably just to give, you know, a little extra room or whatever. But what it's going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to color individually in those specific pie wedges to make my sample. And then I would switch it and I can put this one on and it will do the other pie wedges. Okay, so it allows me to get in there with some of my colors and not have to do things right next to each other. But here's the other thing. If I didn't want to use this piece, I put this one on the pegs, stencil it, and then I would take it off and put this one on, and then I will have a perfect wheel. Okay, so similar but different is what I would say. Okay, so there's that one. And then we have this fabulous stamp set. So I'm trying to find, this is my stamp set. Okay. So $24.99 on this stamp set. Are you guys ready for this? Oh, it's like a swatch maker's dream. All right. So you've got this beauty right here, the color wheel. You've got a much smaller one. This looks like that, kind of that old-timey picture wheel. You've got information that you can stamp with your swatches so that you can kind of keep up to date with what's what. Something that says swatch cards. You actually do have a number of sentiments if you were going to turn these into like swatch card-esque cards kind of a thing. So because they have like feeling blue, tickled pink, golden opportunity, you know, things that have to do with color if you were going to send color cards. Up to you. I think a lot of people are going to be using this for swatches, i.e. I am going to be using it for swatches, but one of the things I just want to see, the Viewmaster, thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Are these the same size? I have no idea if they are. Oh, look at that. Boom. Yes. There we go. All right. So that is fabulous. So that is actually going to stamp right over those and do a really, really nice job. Let me see. Yep. So that'll give you kind of a cool little outline to do over the top if you wanted to do that. Okay. So those all fit together. That is the stamp, the stencil, and the die set. All right. And the dies are $24.99. So I guess everything is $24.99. All right. Now, so those are the 3 pieces that came in from Eileen Hull. And, it's going to be really fun to play with these, but I want to show you one other thing. So let me, okay, that one here is, let me just clean up my mess a little bit here. All right. The boxes all look the same on the back side. Okay, so the last thing I kind of want to show you guys is, there is, I hope these are released. No, I think they are, but at any rate. This is the circular cutting pads from Sizzix. This is brand new, okay? So $12.99, these ones, let me show you why. Well, let me show you these first off. So they're going to be the same thickness as your standard cutting pad, okay? But what the theory is behind these, okay? So these are new to the market, but what the theory is behind these is that by having a round plate, one, it's easier entry for your machine, okay? They're a smaller footprint, so they'll be faster to roll through. But you will automatically rotate and turn these as you do your die cutting. So because they're smaller and they're round, they are going to warp significantly less than those longer, bigger plates do. Okay, so that is why everybody is excited to try these. You have a little tiny one, and then you have a slightly bigger one. The sizes are 3.5 inches and 5 inches. Okay, so I got in quite a few of these because if they are going to be the solution to those warping plates, that means they'll be easier on your machine to get in. The machine won't have to flatten plates, you know, just all around, it's going to be easier. Now, obviously, they'll only work for dies that fit within this confine right here. But, I mean, it's pretty cool. So if that is going to be the new technology, I will take it. All right. And then, oops, I didn't put that back in. Okay. So we got in our shipment of Seth Apter, and we did have some people order some stuff ahead of time. So what that means is that I need the one, oh nope, I think we're out. We might even be out of one of them already. So what I'm showing you guys is basically all we have is what we're going to have for a couple months, because Seth has already sold out. This release has been insane. Okay, so some of these we do have multiples of most of these, but not a ton left. So I wanted to make sure to show you guys so you didn't miss out if you wanted it. Okay, so Seth Apter is a fairly well-known mixed media artist, and so he does, you know, a lot of kind of grungy type things, but more in the art abstract kind of a realm. So this is his first release with Sizzix, and it has been insane. So let's just kind of go through the things that we have. This one is called Waffles, and it's a bigger die. It is 6 inches wide. Okay, so it's 6 inches this way and about 7 inches going in this direction, but that still fits perfectly well in your standard big shot. So a lot of what these are going to add like texture to your projects. Okay, so we've got that one, and then we have, so if you're familiar with Seth Apter, you will recognize this kind of a shape. This is him to a T. Okay, so this one is called Twisters. And it's just going to have all of these different dies in here that kind of will probably inset with each other, is how I believe those guys work. And then that one is $24.99. This big Waffles doesn't have a price. Can you give me a price? 666,910. Mm-hmm. Okay, $34.99 on that one, because that one is a pretty big die. So $24.99 on the Twisters, $24.99 on this one called Tracks. This one has some really, really cool detail in it. And then this die here is called Borderlines. So it's going to cut out all kinds of fun texture that you can, you know, you can color, you can layer, you can mix and match, that kind of a thing. This one is $24.99. And then we have what we call word wafers. So it says Imagine, Journey, and Discover. Now this one, let me go grab my sample one for this real quick. Let me see if I can find it. So first off, I wanted to show you waffles. So look at how cool this is, you guys. I mean, you could use little tiny pieces. You could cut this right in here and have some really interesting like borders. You would have a whole bunch of different borders in whichever direction you went, or you can just use them tone on tone to add texture. I mean, so many different options with that one. I think that one is going to be fantastic. And then the word wafers, I wanted to show you guys this one because, hang on, let me get my little box cutter in here. Okay. You get 28 dies in here, right? And they are very well sealed together. Oh, the drama of it all, right? I gotta find all of the openings to all of the pages. All right. So, the way that these work is each one of these has an outline, and then it has the saying, right, on this thing with tracks that you can cut. And then you also have the individual letters with even more little holes. So you can create, basically it creates like 3 layers of dies, because you would cut this one, you'd cut this one, and then you would cut these letters. But if you didn't want the top letters to have so many holes in it, like you wanted just a different look, then you could cut this a second time and you could just use your scissors. You'll still get kind of that distressed edge, but you would get a whole letter then, okay? And you could just use your scissors and cut it apart and color it however you want. So there's a lot of options with this set. And it says Discover, Imagine, and Journey. So for junk journalers and scrapbookers, card makers, mixed media artists, that kind of stuff, this is such a good set because it's really different and really like unique but versatile. Okay. All right, this one is called Word Wafers, and that one is $26.99. Okay. And then lastly, we have, hold on a minute. I've already mucked it up. Look it. I've got a lot of things on the table. Okay, let me put that back in so that I don't get that guy lost, and don't get that guy lost. Okay, and then we have the Textured Impressions embossing folder. So this one is $12.99. It is going to be pretty much like how you have seen their embossing folders, but you'll notice that we have different packaging. So the packaging now going forward with Sizzix is gonna be all of these boxes. Okay, so they're all gonna come with the storage pouch, and then you'll have the folder that you know would normally recognize. Okay, so this one is, I think this is such a cool folder. It's a multi-level, which means you've got a high, a medium, and a low. And it reminds me of kind of like the Matrix. So it's going to be very, very cool for doing some backgrounds and then adding paint and waxes and mediums and things like that. So anyways, so that's the Seth Apter release. And we have, what inventory we have is all that we'll be able to get for a couple of months, I believe. So if there is something that you would like, be sure to let me know ASAP while we still have it. Okay? All right. So I think that's everything that I had to show you guys for today. So I'm going to do, God, I got a lot in this basket. I'm going to do a quick recap and then we will call it a night. Okay. So first off, classes. We have a really fun class this weekend, this Friday at 11:30. It's called Poppy Palooza with Colleen. So that one is $28 and you're going to be making all 5 of these cards, but you'll be making them from like one main design sheet. And she'll be teaching you how to cut it and get the most out of that sheet for cards and get these gorgeous backgrounds. I keep turning that one upside down, but so that one's called Poppy Palooza and it is at 11:30 on Friday morning and it's $28. And then the other one we have coming up is July 12th. So this one is farther out, but it's because I have to have time to get the product in. So this one is going to be the Lakeside Folio class. It's going to be a Saturday like afternoon at 4:30. And most likely it's going to be 2.5 to 3 hours. And so it is going to use the Lakeside collection that we just got in from Paper Rose. And it has these stunning embossed die cuts that we're going to be using. We're going to be using that film strip PET tape. We're going to be learning a number of different ways to add enclosures into our projects. Of course, because this was kind of a big hit on the video, we are going to be using our vintage brads and the texture hammer. So if, oh, Kelly, I did finish it. Yes, I did. And actually, I'll show you guys, for those of you guys that didn't get the notification right at the beginning, I will show you what the other one looks like too, because I totally fixed that. So, yeah, but we're going to do this as a class, and I think it's going to be really, really fabulous because there's quite a bit to learn in this one too. And that one is July 12th at 4:30. Okay. Well, I would show you, except I do not know where I have put it. Okay, so doing the review again, you know, we have the Pink Fresh. This is called Elegant Circles. This is $14.99, and that's the sample that I made in one of those trade shows. So that just came in. We have the brush scrubber. This is just a silicone brush scrubber, and this is on our $5 kiosk because we were able to get good pricing on these. So, and it's like the most brightest of pinks that I think they could have picked. So you won't lose it in your stuff. I mean, unless your cat carries it off and hides it somewhere, or your dog, most likely you'll be able to find it because it is very pink. And then we finally got these back in. These are the anti-static brushes, and the powder is in there. You just fill it. You'll have more powder than will fit in that little container, so you just save it for when you need to refill. This whole little brush thing, this is my preferred method of anti-static versus the pouches, which have been out for years and they still work perfectly, but this is a little bit cleaner. And so it's $9.99. And then we got the Time to Celebrate clear stamps, just little birthday sentiments. This one is $15.99. We got in 4 different paper pads. So this one is Gradients and Dots. This is double-sided paper. You get 24 sheets in here for $8.50. Now, this and these other papers, the thought here was small patterns for card making or when you just need a little bit so that it shows up. So, 24 sheets, double-sided, 6x6, $8.50. And then these ones have 30 sheets. These are a single-sided paper, but they're half of an 8.5 by 11. So they're 8.5 by 5.5, which means you can fold it in half and have an A2 card base. Or you can cut it in half and have 2 A2 card fronts. Okay, so we have Bugs and Berries. And with this one, you got 10 different patterns, 3 of each. Then we have It's Your Birthday patterned papers. You have 15 designs in this one. And so you get 2 of each. And then we also have the Mermaid Seas pattern paper, which is like really, really striking. Okay, this is this one here in the background. And you have 10 patterns, 3 of each. So you get 30 sheets. And these guys are all $12.50 for those paper pads. We also, this is our first time getting this in, but it's a really, really cute set. You guys, this makes 8 cards. Easy. Okay. There's an inspiration sheet in here. There is a pack of card fronts and die cuts and all the card bases and the envelopes and enamel dots in here. You make 8 cards, and these are $20.99. And this is a sample of what one of them looks like. So the colors are vibrant. They are going to be gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay. And then the rest of the stuff from Pink and Maine, we got some really good stuff from them. Okay. So we got in this one, which I'm very excited to try. It's $25.99. It's called Loopy Frames Die. And so I don't have a measuring card, but yes, it is A2 sized, looks like. Okay. So it'll fit on an A2 card. And you've got a big frame and a little frame, and it says for you. And then this one, which I'm loving, this one has a little bit of a Native American feel, kind of a little bit of a folk art feel. So it just kind of depends on how you color it. Hi, Susan. This one is called Oceans of Love, and it's got all of these gorgeous, gorgeous designs in the clear stamps. And that one's $19.99. The die that goes with it is $20.99. But also, they came out with a pack of foilables. So these ones are ones that you would run through your laminator, your Mink machine, the Gina K Fuse with transfer foil, not the foil you use for the glimmer machine, but the transfer foil, and you will get stunning, stunning images. Okay, so this is one of the samples that they brought us of, or that they sent us with this whale. And pretty sure, because I checked size earlier, these dies also cut out the foilable sheets. So you can get double use out of those dies. And you get 8 foilable sheets in here for $8.50. Okay, and then also in foilables, we have the nautical foilable set. And so you get positive and negatives. You get one of each of these designs. So you get seashells, you get lighthouses, you get lobsters and crabs, and then you get waves. Okay, these are all 8.5 by 5.5. So you cut them in half and you have an A2 panel for your thing. Okay, and then these are already cut to A2. You get 8 in here for $5.50, I believe. And that's the one that we did get a finished sample of, which makes you just kind of go like, whoa. Okay. So, also this foil dusting brush, this one is only $5.50. It's a very soft, fluffy dusting brush. Plus it's just really pretty with all those little gems and stuff in there and the pink tip. But this one it's not different than other brushes. So you can use it for whatever you need a dusting brush for. However, the reason they call it a foil dusting brush is so that when you go, right before you go to foil, and you put it in your laminator, you dust it off. That way, if there's any little dust particles or something like that on your foil, you're gonna, they are going to hinder the foil from transferring where they are. And so that way you kind of clean that transfer sheet off before you foil, and you're going to get a much cleaner full foiling effect. Okay, and then we have the, I think it's it's Ocean Floor Stencil. So this guy does the rocks, does the bubbles, does the school of fish, the other school of fish, the other school of fish. You've got some seashells, you've got some rocks, and you have some grass up here. So just by layering these in a couple different colors of ink, you can create some really cool backgrounds. That one is $7.99. And then 2 fabulous embossing folders. Beach Waves is $8.50. Okay. And then Birthday Wishes is also $8.50. And you've got some samples right there that I did last weekend. Okay. And then also from Pink and Maine, is a package of storage envelopes. This one is, you get 15 in here for $24.99, but we will be selling these individually for those of you guys that don't need like 15, because maybe 15 is more than you need. But this is the storage envelope that perfectly stores the Tim Holtz stamp sets. Okay, we've been looking for an envelope that is this size for a very, very long time. And it was just by coincidence that we ran into these. I'm so excited. Oh, wait, that's my Sizzix one. Forget it. Wrong one. That one, I was like, that seems really big. Okay, well, it did fit in that one, but where did my envelope go? Oh, you know what? I put it away. Oh, my gosh. Okay. See, this one is significantly bigger than these. See how much taller it is and stuff? So, let me just... It's getting late, right? So, at any rate, I showed you earlier, but it slips perfectly in there. So, if you only need a couple of them, they'll be $2 a piece. And then, lastly, we did get in some Sizzix stuff. So, the stamp set swatch cards from Eileen Hull. This one is $24.99. And then, the color wheel stencil set is $24.99. And the die set for this one is $24.99. This is called Rainbow Wheels. Okay. We got in Sizzix Studio set called City Life, $26.99. That is the one that I used on the Octagon card. And then we also got in, this set here from Sizzix Studio, $22.99, and you get 3 different stencils in different size, I believe, than the Eileen Hull one, and you get a set of stamps in there as well, and that one is $22.99. And then we have a very limited amount of Seth Apter stuff available. So we have waffles. This one is a big one. What'd you say the waffles was? $34.99 or $34.99, yeah, something like that. And then we have the embossing folder called Dot Matrix at $12.99. We have the word wafers at $26.99. Well, hi Amber, you're just in time for the end. And we have border lines for $24.99 and tracks for $24.99. and twisters for $24.99. So, tons of stuff today to show you guys. And tomorrow is Lawn Fawn release day. So, I will see you in the morning for a live right here from the store for Lawn Fawn. Okay? Thank you guys, and we will talk to y'all tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.